Chapter 10. Roots and Routines. The days settled into a rhythm, not fast, not slow, but steady, like the beat of a heart slowly remembering its purpose. Richard's farm was a patchwork of ordered chaos. Goats bleated at odd hours, chickens conspired in hushed clucks, and the garden seemed to grow more stubbornly wild by the day. Yet within it all was a kind of peace, a life built on purpose and care. Rose found herself drawn to it more with each passing season. Spring melted into summer, and summer softened into the golden hush of early autumn. The leaves along the orchard edge turned slowly from green to amber, and Rose's routine deepened like roots, settling into warm, familiar soil. She woke early now, often before sunrise, sometimes from dreams she couldn't quite hold on to. She'd pad softly to the kitchen and find Richard already there, sleeves rolled up, brow dusted with flour, coaxing breakfast into existence with the kind of confidence that came from years of practice. He never bragged about it, didn't have to. The man could make a stew that could silence any tavern and a pie that could end feuds, and he loved doing it. "You know," she said one morning, watching him flip something golden and delicate in the pan, "you could feed a queen with food like this." Richard shrugged, bashful but pleased. Never met a queen. Just farm girls, stable hands, and one very mysterious woman from the rose bushes. She laughed and leaned against the counter, her eyes warm. "And they all got breakfast like this?" "Nope." He set a plate in front of her. "Just you." Later that day, they walked together to the edge of the orchard to check the peach trees. The buds had started to open, little pink stars on green branches. A breeze stirred the scent into the air, and Rose paused beneath one of the trees, eyes closed. "This place," she murmured, "it feels like something out of a dream. I can't tell if it's new to me or so old I forgot I missed it." Richard studied her profile, the way sunlight kissed the curve of her cheekbone, and wondered again who she really was. A stranger in name, but not in spirit. She had taken to the land like she had always known it. She hummed when she worked, talked to the animals as if they were old friends, and showed a grace and movement that didn't come from soft life. She was strong in her silence, in her stumbles, in her relentless hope. They sat together beneath the peach trees and shared lunch-cold roast chicken on thick bread with pickled onions and honeyed apples. Rose ate slowly, savoring every bite. "I feel like I'm living someone else's life," she admitted. "Like I woke up in a story that wasn't mine, and now I don't know how to tell the difference." Richard didn't answer right away. He watched a pair of birds squabble in the branches above. "I used to think stories were things that happened to other people," he said. "Heroes, kings, soldiers. I didn't think they came for people like me." She looked at him, and now I think sometimes the best stories start small, with lost names and new dresses, with breakfast shared and trees planted, with kindness that doesn't ask for anything in return. They sat there for a long while, in the hush of early spring, as petals began to fall like snow. That night, Rose cooked for the first time. She didn't remember how she knew what she was doing. Her hands just moved. She made a simple soup, earthy and spiced, and Richard gave her one of his rare, slow nods of approval after the first bite. "Guess you're full of surprises," he said. "I'm starting to think I might be." As the days shortened and the winds turned cooler, they began drinking tea after dinner beneath the stars, wrapped in blankets and listening to the sounds of the quiet land. One night near the end of harvest, Rose hesitated beside him, her hands wrapped around her mug. "I might already belong to someone else," she said, her voice quiet. "Somewhere out there. Someone could be waiting." Richard's gaze held steady. "And if you do, then we'll cross that bridge when it finds us. But what if I hurt you?" She whispered. He smiled, small and sad. "You already don't." She looked down into her tea, the warmth rising against her face. "Do you ever wish we'd met under different circumstances?" "Sometimes, but then again, if we had I might not have been the one to find you. There was a silence, thoughtful and soft. Do you think people are who they remember being? She asked. Or who they are without memory? Richard was quiet for a moment. Then he said, I think memory can shape us, mold us, sometimes wrong, especially when we're young and someone else is holding the clay. She looked up, startled by how deeply that struck her. Without those early memories, he said, maybe you're not broken, maybe you're just free to be who you were always meant to be. Her eyes shimmered, but she didn't cry. She reached for his hand, held it for a breath, then let go. That sounds like something I want to believe, she whispered. Then believe it. And though the past still loomed like a fog on the horizon, Rose felt for the first time something close to peace. Not the frantic joy of remembered identity, but the quiet contentment of being seen, of being safe. But beyond the trees, the winds were shifting, riders were returning from the hills. And soon the world would change again,